Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Wednesday the 25th of August 2021. I'm making this video shortly after watching the Carabao Cup third round draw, and we got Leicester City. Probably not the tie everyone was hoping for. They either wanted a bigger team than that or West Ham, or they probably wanted one of the lesser teams to give us a really good chance of getting in the next round. And it was funny watching the draw. You're seeing a lot. We came out very late on. I think we were the third last. Seeing a lot of the earlier draws being Prem against Prem, and I'm thinking if we get an easy team, this could be something could be happening this season. Because when you got two Premier League teams playing each other, one of them's gonna get knocked out. So then, if the next round they get drawn again, they get whittled down again, it could be they knock each other out, and it opens up a way through for a smaller club to come through and get to the final and do a bit of magic. Although this cup isn't known for its magic, that's the FA Cup. And would you know it, we have not played Leicester City in the League Cup before. The only cup we've played them in is in the FA Cup, and we've played them, I think it's 5 or 6 times in the FA Cup over the long history of both clubs. And every single time we've played them in the FA Cup, it has been at Millwall, at the Den, which is astounding. That draw after draw would put the teams as Millwall versus Leicester, but that's what happened. So we're playing them again, this time in the third round, and once again a home tie, which you've got to hope for that. That gives us a chance. It really does give us a chance. Millwall will be at home to Leicester City in the third round of the Carabao Cup. The two teams will meet after being paired in Wednesday night's draw. The Lions and Foxes have previous in cup competitions. The last fixture between the two taking place at the Den in February 2017 as Sean Cummings scored a last-minute winner for Neil Harris's 10-man League One side against the reigning Premier League champions in the FA Cup fifth round. Ties to be played in the week commencing Monday the 20th of September. Full details will be confirmed in due course. So it's a month away, and we beat them after they won the Premier League, so not beyond the realms of possibilities that we could beat them again. But today and yesterday there were a lot of high scoring games involving Premier League teams. I mean, Arsenal smashed West Brom today 6-0. Southampton, I think they won 8-0 against Newport County. Norwich yesterday 6-0. There are a lot of beatings given out by Premier League teams because they're really trying to do something this season. I think they're taking it seriously, because I think they kind of I don't know why they're taking it seriously, but they are, and we'll see how seriously Leicester City take it when they come to the Den in a month's time. So there you go. That's what's just happened. Fresh news. About 15 minutes ago, finishing watching a draw, made the video. Here we are. This come up today on millwallfc.co.uk. And Millwall are teaming up with Demelza Hospice. So there you can see Afobe, Saville and Jed Wallace wearing the t-shirts there. Millwall Football Club is proud and honoured to announce a new charity partnership with Demelza, who provides support and care for babies, children, young people and their families across 3 hospices in the southeast of England. Throughout this 21-22 season, the club will assist with a wide range of Demelza's fundraising initiatives and events, and is calling on the support of Millwall fans to help staff and volunteers continue their incredible, important work. Demelza provides specialist care and emotional support for children with terminal conditions, including at their family hospice in Eltham, just a few miles from the Den. They can help families and their loved ones enjoy their time together for as long as they have. Such imperative care, which includes symptom management, short breaks, end of life and bereavement support, and so much more, comes at significant cost, and Demelza are currently only reaching 20% of the children they could have helped. Of Demelza's total funding, 88% is derived from donations. Can you believe that hospices and such, they need funding from people donating? It's not under the NHS or government funding. Most of it's in donations. That's incredible. Mill fans are the most generous and thoughtful set of supporters in the country, and I can think of a few better causes than this. Steve Kavanagh, Lions chief executive, said, "Hearing about the extent of Demelza's work and learning what they do for children and their families is incredibly moving, and as a club we're committed to doing absolutely everything we can to help them this season, both in terms of spreading awareness of their efforts and also crucially with their fundraising. We look forward to working with staff and volunteers at Demelza in the months ahead and doing all we can to help." Catherine Caudry, Senior Community and Events Manager at Demelza, added, "We are really looking forward to working with everyone at Millwall Football Club over the next 12 months. As a charity, we're almost entirely dependent on the generosity of our supporters to provide the funds that keep our services going. This is a fantastic opportunity to work with Millwall to raise funds for an awareness of Demelza and the work we do supporting children and young people with serious or terminal conditions. Huge thank you to Millwall for their commitment, and we can't wait to get started. Over the course of the campaign, the club will keep supporters up to date with the work of the charity, which include information on the difference the money being raised is making." And then they give you a page that you can donate to there. But yeah, so part of what the club is doing to help, and this is a really serious thing. It's a charity that actually does stuff other than just constantly try and raise money. A proper charity that does proper things, practical things that involve dying children, basically. So there you go. Let's moving on now. Tilt's talking of children. Alex Mitchell signs long-term deal at the Den now. This was announced in the papers the other day, so that kind of took the wind out of the sails. But here we go with the club announcement on the official site. Young defender pens new contract, long-term deal. So Millwall Football Club is delighted to announce that Alex Mitchell's put pen to paper on a long-term contract at the Den. The 19-year-old signs a new contract after impressing the club's under-23 setup and on loan at Bromley in the Vanarama National League in 2020-21, and was rewarded with his senior debut during Tuesday night's 3-1 Carabao Cup second-round victory over Cambridge United. The towering centre-back was part of a Bromley side who reached the playoffs at the end of the last campaign, narrowly missing out on a place in the EFL, and is a regular fixture in Kevin Nugent's side. Mitchell, who spent the 21-22 pre-season campaign with the first team, will now hope to cement his place in the squad over the coming years. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. And we will see what happens. So I imagine he's basically been pushed up into the substitutes bench position with Hutch, Leonard, McNamara, and now it's maybe Romeo being injured, so Pearce might have to play. That means Mitchell comes onto the bench. Hayden Muller's out on loan, so could be seeing a bit more of him in on the match day, sitting on the bench and warming up down the line. Those of you in the West blocks to the Side of the away fans may be seeing more of him over the coming month as we await for players to get back from their injuries. So let's have a look at this now. So a lot of stuff from the official site today. This is about Murray Wallace. Murray Wallace, they don't really interview him much. He's not one for talking. But Murray Wallace on quick fire brace. Tuesday's goal machine speaks. Murray Wallace was a lick of paint away from joining the Millwall hat-trick club on Tuesday night, and a crossbar's width away from perhaps starting his own exclusive club of Lions defenders netting trebles. The left-back made sure Cambridge United's lead only lasted 6 minutes in the Carabao Cup second round tie, then cutting inside before striking a stylish right-footed effort across the goal and into the net to equalise, before popping up just a few minutes later with a close-range effort to put the Lions in front. Matt Smith's goal then made the passage to round 3 of the competition secure, but the Scot could have had a historic hat-trick only to see his second half header crash back off the crossbar. I thought we started the game quite well, and Bradders had that early chance which hit the crossbar, Murray told millwallfc.co.uk. We were disappointed to concede in the manner we did again, but we reacted well to that and our approach was right. On his first goal, the defender said, "I was probably due one of those. A few times now I've cut inside and let the right swinger go, yet it hasn't quite come off, so I'm glad that one did. For the second, Smudge has done all the work for me. I've been in the right place at the right time. It's not often a Millwall player scores a hat-trick, but I think I got a bit excited. It's as close as I'm going to come to doing so with a header off the bar. Fingers crossed I get an opportunity again." With a third round place and a spot in Wednesday night's draw now confirmed, the tensions quickly turned back to the weekend and a visit of Blackpool in the Sky Bet Championship. The Lions go in search of their first league win in the campaign against the Chantarines. And Murray Wallace says the league is obviously the priority. We started off well with a couple of draws that we feel we should have got more from, but you can't hold on to things like that. We've had a couple of disappointing results from there, so it's important we put in a good performance and bounce back on Saturday. Indeed. And talking of yesterday's game, as always, the day following a match, we here at the Daily Millwall like to talk about the stats. Why? I don't know. It's vaguely interesting. It helps you see things in different ways. You can give praise where praise maybe not be obviously due to maybe defenders or midfielders who did things that you didn't really notice, like when you notice a goal scorer score a goal, or someone do some put in an assist for a cross. You notice that stuff. The goalkeeper makes a really good save. You notice that stuff. But do you notice when someone makes a few passes and does a few tackles and wins a few headers? Maybe you don't. So that's what this is about. And here we go. This is whoscored.com. And it's just going to be this today, because the other websites I normally use couldn't be bothered with the League Cup. So it's just from whoscored.com today. So, attempts, as you can see. 17 to us, 8 to them. 10 open play to 4 open play, 7 to 2 set pieces, and 0 counter attacks for us and 2 for them. And here you go. So 17 shots, 3 goals. That's 17% conversion rate. 8 for 1 is 12. So there you go. We kept them down, but they still did get that 1 goal. So they didn't get many chances away. I think that's the lowest we've had so far against us this season. 8 attempts on goal. Very, very low. So there you go. And let's bring this one up. So here's the total passes. They actually outpassed us, according to this website. Can you believe that? So 439 to us, 447 to them. But look how many crosses we put on. 30 crosses to 17. That's what we wanted to see. And I did not go to the game yesterday, but today I rewatched it. Like I said, if you're a subscriber to iFollow, round about 2 AM in the morning, I think that's probably how long it takes to process the video file, probably. But at 2 AM in the morning, iFollow puts up a full match replay that you can watch if you're a subscriber. And so today I did. And Billy Mitchell playing right wing back, absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. The crosses that he was putting in, the number of them, the quality of them. Not only that, but him and Mahoney getting down to the touchline and winning corners. Which when you've got Cooper and Smith and Danny Ballard on the pitch, you need the corners, because that's where your goal threat's from. You need the corners, and if you playing in the league how we was playing before, no one's getting to the byline to get the corner. You get the corner when you in the middle or at an angle and you shoot and the defender deflects it, or the goalkeeper saves it and it goes out for a corner. We're not getting constant corners by running down to the corner flag or to the touchline, trying to put a cross in, hitting the defender and going out. But yes, watching the game, so many times we got corners from that. And Mahoney's balls from corners were absolutely brilliant. Mahoney can play. He can play. So, let's look at this. Player positions. You can see here, look, a lot more attacking on Millwall. Millwall are in orange. That's how this website does it. It's orange team at home, blue team away. So we are orange. And you can see here the defence is a lot more spread out because they're playing further forward. They're not pushed back. Cambridge United were playing quite deep. But you can see here very clearly defined player positions by Millwall. Very clearly defined. Not a jumbled mess as we try and defend against the opposition. But they're a League One team, so that people are going to point to that and say, well, it's a League One team. We're a Championship team. We've got to play Championship teams week in, week out, because we're in a Championship. We're not playing League One teams week in, week out. But there you go. So here's the match events. They scored in the 33rd minute. 6 minutes later, Murray Wallace got won the goal. Then again, another goal. And then Matt Smith shortly after half time, 9 minutes after half time. And then a lot of changes were made, and those changes really took the steam out of Millwall's play, and Cambridge United started to get a little bit into it, a lot more, and that kind of affected us. And as I brought you in yesterday's video, Murray Wallace had cramp, and because we had made 3 substitutes by then, he basically had to stay on. And there's a time at the end where he's defending against an attack in the area, and he's just basically lying on the ground trying to knee the ball away, and he can't really do anything because he's so knackered from the way he's playing so far in the game. But that was a very tense situation, could have led to a goal, but what can you do? So here we're going to go through the stats for the players now. You can see, if you look up by the club badges, the average rating for the players, 7.27 for Millwall, 6.36 for Cambridge United. So we were a whole lot better, basically 10% better. It's out of 10. So we're just under 1 point higher than them. So that's 10%. So there you go. This is the ratings for the players, and as you can see, man of the match, of course. Is there any other choice? Murray Wallace, 9.2. And we were kind of playing 3-4-3 formation. They've given it as this. I think it was like that, but Murray Wallace and Bradshaw were playing. Well, Mahoney was playing deeper. Bradshaw was kind of playing alongside and off of Smith. But Mahoney they were both going both sides of the pitch, crossways behind Matt Smith. So there's a lot going on there. Worst starting player for Millwall, Ben Thompson, 6.7. So, and then shortly above him, 6.8 for Pierce. And the other standout players, Matt Smith, 9.1, and Conor Mahoney, 8.0. There you go. And subs getting involved as well, getting decent ratings. Okay, let's move on to shots. So we had 17, they had 8. Where are they and what did we do? So Matt Smith 5, Bradshaw 2, Wallace 4, Cooper with 3 himself. So with the corners and the headers, there you go. Cooper had 3 shots on target. And basically for Cambridge, it's just the 3 attacking players they had. The other players not really getting involved, except their right back, Williams, who scored the goal. He did get forward quite a bit. So possession wise, they had more possession than us. 49.5, we had 50.5. Basically because of the long balls up to Matt Smith, I imagine that's what that would have been. When you're bombing the ball forward, it doesn't always, you don't always win possession from it. So I assume that's what that was. But you can see here, so George Evans, 7.5% of the match time was with the ball at his feet, and compared to nearly every other player on the pitch, that is the most, except for Cambridge's May, who also had 7.5. And then we got Ballard 6.1. And Billy Mitchell 4.9. That's the crosses that he had. And Mahoney 4.5. A lot of time on the ball, very impressive. And Murray Wallace, not a lot on the ball, 2.9, but he got two goals in the crossbar. So there you go. We're only 2.9% of the possession of the match. Moving on now to pass success. Pretty much even team to team, 83 to 82. Ben Thompson, 100%. That's, when did he get taken off? Because maybe that's because he wasn't involved a lot in the game. Where would he have been taken off here? 70th minute. So 100% passing. Now we'll find out if that's how good that is later on. But Murray Wallace 90, Mahoney 90, Billy Mitchell 94. I think we may have found our new right wing back. Maybe, why not? If he can play like this in the Championship, play him at right wing back. Because that was the way he played yesterday was amazing. It really was. Getting those crosses in time after time, getting down to the byline, putting the corners in, and he did like one little move on the flank. Cooper absolutely wellied the ball at him, and it was basically going up for a 50-50 with the Cambridge defender. He basically used his head to kind of flick it forward, but kind of deaden the ball as well. And then he ran round the Cambridge defender, but it was just got away from him, and then they got the ball back. But that was pretty clever thing to do there. To realise that the ball's absolutely flying at you, and then figuring out, okay, if I kind of just use my head to deaden it, but flick it forwards, and then I can run around and get it. Pretty really good. Interesting to see that. So dribbles 13 to 8. So most of our team, Mahoney, Thompson, Evans. He did alright yesterday, George Evans. But here we go, aerials 1. Oh my goodness, that's what you want to see. That is what you want to see. We can play like this. We weren't just bombing balls to Matt Smith all game. We weren't just doing that. It wasn't long ball merchants. Mahoney was good on the ball. Billy Mitchell was good on the ball. Mario Wallace was good on the ball. Bradshaw was doing stuff. George Evans was doing stuff. But Matt Smith won 17 headers. And it wasn't just constant long balls to him. 40 to 27, aerials won. Matt Smith 17. Amazing. Amazing tackles. 16 to 9. Okay. Corners 6 to 5. Mahoney's balls were very on point. Very good corners from Mahoney there. Dispossessed, that's losing the ball. Bradshaw. Okay. So let's move on now to the list. Basically with the things we've just seen, but fucking clearer, so we can see it a lot better. And here you go. So Starman Mario Wallace 9.18, just behind him Matt Smith 9.14, Conor Mahoney 7.96, George Evans 7.46. Basically 8 players on 7 or more, which is good to see. Anyone stinking the place out? So not really. So even Ben Thompson 6.6. The guy replacing didn't do better than that. So when George Saville come on, he didn't get a better score than him, which is good to see. Because if your substitute gets a better score than you in less time than you've been on the pitch, then we got a problem. Touches, who had the most touches? George Evans, and then a long way down, Danny Ballard, Conor Mahoney, Jay Cooper, Billy Mitchell. Shots and shots on target. So shots, Matt Smith 5, but only 1 on target, and that was a goal. 1 shot on target, 1 goal. Beautiful. Again, Mario Wallace 4 shots, 2 on target, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Amazing. Jake Cooper 3 and 1, Tom Bradshaw 2 and 0, and going all the way down to Billy Mitchell. So 7 Millwall players having shots on goal. Let's move on now to this one. And what we're looking at here, let's look at dispossessed, yep, and unscheduled touches. Basically poor ball control. What they say, they tell you what it is underneath. Unscheduled touches, bad control. Dispossessed player is dispossessed on the ball by an opponent, no dribble involved. So what is that, like a tackle? I would assume something like that, or barged off the ball, something like that. So losing the ball by getting it taken off you by the opponent, and losing the ball due to poor ball control. So not a good night for Tom Bradshaw there in terms of with the ball. So here's Conor Mahoney dribbling away, and poor ball control, gave the ball away 5 times as well. Okay, let's move on now to defense. Not a lot involved. Not a lot of tackles all round. Not a lot having to be done against Cambridge. 3 for George Evans, 2 Danny Ballard, 2 Murray Wallace, 2 Conor Mahoney, 2 for George Saville when he came on. So there was a lot more, and 2 for Alex Mitchell. So there was a lot more defending going on for Millwall once the changes had been made, and once Matt Smith wasn't available up front to win those 17 aerials that he won. So interceptions, Ballard again, Murray Wallace there. Clearances, Jake Cooper 6, 5 for Alex Pearce, and then all these Millwall players on 2. Block shots, only 1. There you go. Not a lot going on up front for Cambridge. Passing wise, let's have a look at this. So we saw earlier that Ben Thompson was 100% on passes accuracy. So let's have a look. What has he got? He only had 21 passes, so a 10th most. So he had basically Okay, that's interesting. So he, of the starting 11, he was number 10. Bradshaw was lower than him with only 13 passes. George Long actually had the same number of passes than him. Basically goal kicks and whatnot. That's why his accuracy is so low. Goalkeepers' accuracies are low because they do the long kicks. A lot of teams have tried to do the short goal kicks because they want to keep possession of the ball, but that puts the pressure up the front. So you pick your poison. Do you want to give the ball away up their end, or do you want to mess around and give it away at your own end, which could be very dangerous indeed? You take your chances, you pick your poison. So here we go. Passes most, George Evans, Daniel Ballard, and quite high accuracy as well. Pretty decent. Jay Cooper 47.80. Billy Mitchell, here you go, 36, pass accuracy 94.4. Conor Mahoney 29 passes 89.7. Very, 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 very good. Let's go on to the crosses because that's what we needed, and here you go. So Billy Mitchell 7 crosses, 3 were accurate. That doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot more than we've had recently in the league. It just seemed to be getting things going. And here Conor Mahoney even better than Billy Mitchell. Conor Mahoney 11, 6 were accurate, so he was taking the corners, so that includes that. Mario Wallace though 5 and 0. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. George Evans 3 and 1. Jay Cooper 3 and 1. It's only 6 Millwall players having crosses. Long balls. So here you go, Jay Cooper. Did he go to Specsavers? Because that's bang on point there. 13 long balls, 10 accurate. I imagine that's because he had time. Because Cambridge were quite deep, they weren't pressing so much. He had time on the ball to compose himself to pick out Matt Smith. And of course, with Matt Smith being on the pitch, that helps as well. George Long there, 15 long balls, only 4 are accurate. That's on par for a goalkeeper taking long goal kicks. But Alex Pearce 8 and 6, so yeah. Danny Ballard 11 and 6. George Evans 3 and 1. Billy Mitchell 1 and 1. So yeah, very impressed with Billy Mitchell yesterday. Very, very impressed. Yeah, so there you go. That's what happened yesterday. And it will be interesting to see now. So we've got Leicester in about a month's time. What kind of team you're going to be putting out for that? I imagine it's going to be try and be the strongest team that you can put out, given injuries and whatnot. It is a Premier League team that we will be playing. But will George Long still be in goal? You want to know how good he is. You got to try and test him against a quality opposition. Now, if you do that in the league, you got to drop Biakowski, and it's a thing. And we might lose points, but you can do it in a cup because it's the cup. And it seems that he's the starter in this. So then if you drop him for this and bring Bart in for this, you're kind of putting George Long's nose out of joint. And I always thought, now when Arsene Wenger come in, I think he was one of the first ones who started all this, not taking the League Cup seriously, and he would put the second string in. But I always thought it was really fucking off that when they would get to the semi-final or the final, all the second string that got them to that far, he would just bin them all off and bring the first team in. I thought that was really, really poor. I understand why he did it. He's trying to win a game, but you said to the second string, you're playing in this competition. Here you go. You play them basically 3 or 4 games that they win in a row to get to the semi-final or the final. and then you just drop them all, and then bring everyone, or bring the first team in. That's really kind of poor. So we'll see if George Long plays in goal for that. Maybe it might be a really good chance for him to try and push Bart Biakowski out of the side to get that first team jersey, especially if we're not doing too well in the league in a month's time. If we haven't got we conceded too many goals, or we're not playing better than we should be, maybe that be a chance. We will see. Anyway, so that's it for today's Daily Millwall video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.